Why did you want to shift to remote work?
I believe that in Pakistan, remote work is not much popular.
How many people are working with you?
We are working around 4 people are working around him. I'm also a PPC Specialist. Basically, my job role is to, whenever a client comes to a client, I am the one who makes his Google account around just Facebook campaigns.
If I ask you what is that one tool that you're spending most of your time on?
This is the most important thing for us as a PPC Specialist.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Know Your VA. And today I have Osama with me. He'll tell us about himself. But it's a pleasure to see people like Osama doing great. And I have had an off-camera conversation with him and a phenomenal story. So let's head straight to Osama. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Java. How are you?
I'm good. Osama, let's start with your upbringing. Which city are you from in Pakistan, and your educational background, and what was your work experience before Upstack?
As you guys know, my middle name is Osama and my full name is Muhammad Osama Shabaz.
All right.
I belong from Lahore, like my family is from Lahore from start of the birth of Pakistan. And talking about my education, I have done my OA levels from background school system. Then did my bachelor's from Lahore School of Economics. And then I did my MBA from Lahore School of Economics in 2019. From last 5 years, from the start of my journey, I've been working in digital marketing field. And I started my career from a small startup known as GAY Geeks, where I was their marketing and sales executive. Then I went to an agency. In agency, I was working as a social media manager. I learned how to run different campaigns digitally. Then I went to an online fashion brand, Luluser, where I worked as an assistant manager digital marketing. I was handling all their performance marketing and media buying. Then I went to another brand, Rangresia, for a short period of time. And then finally, it was Upstack. Last year, I started my journey with Upstack.
And how did you hear about Upstack?
Basically, when I was working in Rangresia, I was looking for some remote work, honestly. Because at Rangresia, I was also doing a job as remote work. I was handling their operations remotely. They are located in Faisalabad, but I am in Lahore. But now I wanted to shift and wanted to look for another opportunity. So I was looking at LinkedIn and I have found about Upstack and LinkedIn that you guys were looking for some media buyers. And I applied for that position. And then went for rigorous applications. And then I went to 3 to 4 interviews and finally got in. And I joined Upstack in 7th November 2023. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Why did you want to shift to remote work? And you were already working remotely, but what was the main logic behind it?
So basically, I believe that in Pakistan, remote work is not much popular. Honestly, I got that job in Rangresia because they were having some issues in their office and I was in Lahore and their office were... Otherwise, there are very less and few jobs in Lahore remotely. Unless and until you are going to work for another country, like we are working in US right now, or any other European country or UK country. So I believe that now it was my time to learn some other stuff and learn that how international campaigns or how internationally you can excel in your career. So when I saw that job in Upstack and they work in US and we are going to work with US client, so I thought that I should learn something new over there. So that's why I thought that I should try for remote work and try to learn about new market, international markets, not just Pakistan.
So what was the difference between two markets?
There are a lot of difference. First of all, first thing is the learning. Learning over in Pakistan is different and learning in US is different. Honestly, the work experience is already different. And then if you talk about as a media buyer, the campaigns and the work which I am doing in Pakistan is a bit of the same because we do of the same thing. We run ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google. But in US, things are quite different. You have to see and you have to evaluate every aspect. Then they are more forward to B2B businesses. For example, I have never seen in Pakistan that there are dental agencies. Right now, I'm working on Fire Gang. I will explain that where I'm working. But it was very new to me that even dentists are going for digital marketing and even plumbers are there. They have a complete agencies like for 100 people. They are getting SEOs, they are getting paid ads. So it was completely a new thing for me. And then how things turn into dollars and how you can get new clients and everything is different when you're working in another country while sitting in your own country. So I believe that experience is something which pushed me for...
I think the cultural aspect of it as well. You look at it, in a different way. You mentioned that you work for Fire Gang Dental Marketing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work
And
for Fire.
Becky Spicer, we have five people working with
Exactly.
Becky right now.
Yeah.
What was, nothing against, of course, Pakistan, but what is the main difference in the two markets that you see? This will be unheard of in Pakistan, that your agency is only doing dental marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the difference between this and a generalist? How do you see that they're able to score more clients with the dental marketing niche and not being a generalist? So how do you think that really helps you with different clients?
So basically, what Fire Gang Dental Marketing actually is, basically they just don't go for taking clients like they want dentists to come to them to pay to them. No, they are actually making sure that whatever people are working with them, they are getting more business, they are getting more patients, they are getting more customers, and it's a whole journey from starting from taking a lead to finally converting it into a client, into a customer. That's what Fire Gang do. They're not just doing business for the sake of money. Okay, you are dental, we will give you some leads and okay, we are done. No, it's not happening there. They have 5 to 6 different teams. And for example, I am working in a performance marketing team. So we get leads. Then there's a CSM team, there's a call center teams who convert those leads and finally make sure that those people are converted into patients. Then there is SEO team, they are working organically and they are bringing patients organically. And then there is CSM teams who make sure that all the communication between client, customer, patient, and our team is effectively done. So I believe that this is the thing which is also helping FireGang to grow. They are not just taking clients for the sake of money. They are helping dentists to get more customers. And that's why now I think that they have more than 150 dentists working with them. And they are working from last, I believe, 15 to 20 years.
Awesome.
So this is what is the difference between Pakistani market, I believe, and US market. This was something new for me.
Definitely. I think this is something which is unheard of.
I don't know.
That if you're, I've seen niches like agencies working with only churches, agencies working with only dog food suppliers.
Exactly.
So these are the kind of niches people are working.
Working on.
And
Exactly.
I would like to quote here the Josh Nelson, the 7-figure agency coach who has now converted, I think, over 100 agencies into $100 million companies and 7-figure agencies. And his main concept behind it is just to get a niche. You can't be a generalist. You have to be in niche, which is like phenomenal. I can see how Fire Gang Dental Marketing is doing. What is your job role and how does your team look like? How many people are working with you? Is it too much of work, or is it like you're like, all right, this is fine, but maybe I have more room to work?
Okay. So basically, I'm working in performance team where we have our manager, and then we are working around 4 people. We are 4 people. 2 people are PPC specialists. I'm also a PPC specialist. Basically, my job role is to, whenever a client comes to a client, I am the one who makes his Google account, runs his Facebook campaigns, and make sure that they get leads through paid ads. On the other hand, there is also a team, GHL team, who are making landing pages and helping us in making the campaign successful. So we are a team of 5 people, and I'm handling almost 60 accounts. And now I'm also handling 20 more accounts for implant funnel because we are facing some short staffing, but still, for the sake of time, I'm the one who will be also covering for those accounts. So it will be around a total of 80 accounts.
Wow.
So work is not less, work is not too much high, but obviously work is there. Like you can't say that we are going to sit idle for 8 hours. There will be something you have to do. We have 2-hour meetings per day. We have to be on camera and we have a meeting. Culture is very great. They understand if you have any problem, they understand everything. So it's a mix and a balanced situation. So things are going good over there.
Of course, at the end of the day, it's a human who's working.
Exactly.
They realize, I'm sure. What is the difference between cultures of both Pakistani corporate and the US corporate?
Okay, this is like a very difficult question, I believe. But I believe that if you talk about culture, this is my first client and I've been working for them last year. I won't say that I have a lot of experience over there, but still in 1 year, what I have understood and I have learned that they understand your problems. Like they believe in work-life balance. If you have said that you have any issue or you have to work for 8 hours, not for 10 hours, not for 9 hours, and you are there for a particular role.
And then, but in those 8 hours, they're not like half an hour coffee break, and then 8 hours means 8 hours.
8 hours means 8 hours you are there and you have to work and you are liable to answer the questions, whatever is there, but not after those 8 hours.
Yeah.
If you have fulfilled your 8 hours and fulfill your duty, then you are good to go. But in Pakistan, I still believe that we have to go there. I believe that if you're working for an agency, I have worked for an agency in Pakistan, and you have to work after 8 hours too. Like you, if a client has said to do this, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay? This is something which I believe that there's a major difference between Pakistan culture and US culture.
Yeah.
So there's some rules they are following. There are some rules which they are not following in Pakistan. So there are some policies which are, I think, better for employees in US. Those are
But
interesting.
I think we are also moving in that direction.
Yeah, exactly.
And for what I see before, like when I was working, I finished my job in 2017. There's a huge change. But and of course, that's the future. You have
Especially
to-
after COVID.
Yeah,
Especially after COVID, things are different now. People are understanding that there is something work known as remote.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and work from home, and there is something like
So let's talk about that. How do you think remote work, does it help you in your day-to-day life apart from work? Or you would want to go to work, like work with people and of course, there are perks of working in an office environment as well. So what do you think working remote, does it help you?
So I believe there are pros and cons of both of things, but it's a complete personal choice. For example, you've asked me a question that why did you move to remote work? But that was something I was looking for. I wanted to do something like that, and I shifted to it. Remotely, yes, it's very beneficial if you can have a work-life balance. You can work from wherever you want to with a good office space, and you can start working with there. Yes, I believe the only con which I think there are disadvantages that you don't get to interact with a lot of people unless and until there are meetings, because being in person is something different and then having a video call is something different.
Yeah.
So this is a big disadvantage. This is the disadvantage which I believe that there is. Otherwise, work from home increases your productivity. It gives you time to have a work-life balance. It gives you time that if you like, you don't have to travel for 10 kilometers or 50 kilometers to the office and wasting your energy, wasting your time, wasting
Money.
your resources, money, fuel, and all of these things. So there are pros and cons of both.
Even now, like what I've learned is that even in Islamabad, when I have to meet somebody, I prefer Zoom call over going on a coffee.
Exactly.
Because when you go for a coffee, you drove. Islamabad is small, but 10, 15 minutes you drove, you parked your car, went inside, you'll ask about, all right, how's happening, what's happening. In that Zoom, half an hour Zoom call, he knows, you're going to be really productive. That is something that the world is shifting towards. And I think we're also moving in the same direction. And that's the biggest pro that I see. Time management is a huge thing. Tell us a little bit about your cultural connect with the team that you have. How do you guys culturally connect? Do you guys get in a huddle every day, every week? How does that look like?
Yeah, so this is an interesting question because in Fire Gang, people are working from throughout the world. Like in my team, the other PPC specialist is from India, right? And our manager is from US and I'm from Pakistan. So there are 3 people from different countries from the same team. Then there are also other people from Philippines, Malaysia. I don't know much about them from where they are, but there are people from all over the world. So thing is, culturally, if I talk about my Indian colleague, we connect because India and Pakistan, they are very close. They understand things. Sometimes if we have extra time or our manager is not there, we discuss even politically. Not politically that we just say, okay, this is happening in your country and this is happening in that country. Then on a US basis, we discuss about like now Christmas is coming. We are going to have holidays. Okay, what are their plans? What are our plans? How do we spend those days? How do they are going to spend their holidays? So it's a great experience that people from different culture are coming together and they are connecting together. So it's a great thing.
So do you guys have weekly meetings together and have you ever gone in a meeting with all the company?
We have company-wide meeting every Wednesday, where every person from the company have to be there. And that's more about the work. It's not chit chat, but sometimes if we have ample of time, we do chit chat. We do ask each other what's their day look like and how they're going to spend weekends or what they have done on the weekend and all that things.
Awesome. What about your day? How does that look like? What time do you wake up? Because working in the evening, that's not easy as well.
Yeah. So at the start, it was very difficult for me because I was shifting from 9 to 6, like 9 to 5 to opposite timing to
Yeah.
6 to 3, and that was very difficult for me. But now after 13 months, I can say now I'm a bit used to it. And my work day start around 6:30 p.m. and I work around 2:30 p.m. Sometimes extra work we have increased the working hour, or sometimes we reduce the working hour, depends upon the work. But 8 hours are the most. So I start around 6:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. with this client. And in these 8 hours, we make sure that we have our meetings are scheduled. We have to attend those meetings. We have to start our work, start with the reporting, with checking of all the accounts, with all the tickets, which we have to start working. So in those 8 hours, we make sure that we are using our capabilities to the most, and our productivity is the highest.
You've gotten used to it. What about your family, your wife?
Yeah,
Are they
still.
used to it?
No, they are not used to it, and I have to shift to another room where my office and table chair is there, and it becomes a bit not problematic, but it's a different thing because in Pakistan, your most of your life in the night. If you have to go any wedding, if you have to go anywhere, if you have to go out with your family. But now, after a year, what we do, we plan according to the weekends. We plan according to holidays, or even if we, like I was telling you, I went to a trip, and we take day off if we have something special or if we have in preparation. So now things are a bit in control, and we are managing like that.
Awesome. If I ask you what is that one tool that you're spending most of your time on, what would that be?
That would be Google Ads Editor. Yeah, so we are spending most of our time on that because that's the main thing we are using in our agency as a PPC specialist, and we have to run campaigns and get our leads throughout it. So this is the most important tool for us as a PPC specialist.
And what about GHL? Do you guys use GHL?
Yeah, exactly. We do use GHL, and we make sometimes we make landing pages to connect those campaigns to that landing pages, and finally bringing our leads through that landing pages which we have made through GHL. So we are using GHL for creating funnel landing pages.
Awesome. And with this technology and everything, it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with that pace? How do you train yourself? All right, this is algos are changing every day, everything, AI coming in. How do you keep up with that pace? How do you train yourself? Because sometimes you just get carried away and you're like, all right, I know this, and that's what I'm doing. But in digital marketing, that's not, I think that's not possible. So how do you cope up with that, and how do you keep up with that pace?
Yeah, exactly. In digital marketing, I believe that even after 10 to 15 years of experience, you can't say that I have learned everything.
Yeah.
Because every time, every year, every month, new thing is coming.
Yeah.
Even Google has changed their dashboard look. They have come up with a new dashboard, and you have to learn about the dashboard. Okay, we were running campaigns on that old dashboard. Now we have to see that where we are going to find scripts, where we are going to find keywords, where we are going to find that planner. So the learning is always there, and you have to be on top of that. The thing is that we sometimes do trainings. Trainings from RSA has been a great platform to learn around. There are a lot of trainings, courses. Then in the Fire Gang, we have some training sessions, and we have even our performance manager, he pushes us to go for the new things and to learn new things. So we keep up with the trainings. Sometimes we go for certifications and training. So with RSA and with Fire Gang on training, we keep that pace and we learn about new things. And when you have to use a certain thing, you have to learn about it.
Yeah.
You have to spend time over it. For example, I'm giving an example of Google new dashboard. So we spend around 2 to 3 days about it. Then okay, what changes they have made and what we have to learn about it. And especially then GHL, because GHL was something which is very highly popular in US. And in Pakistan, I didn't use it last my 4 years. So then we have to study about GHL, do courses from RSA, and we keep studying about it, keep doing research, and keep getting trainings on that.
Awesome. And I think one key takeaway would be to be proactive. Then
Yeah, you always have to be proactive and get ready for new learning.
Yeah, awesome. Tell us about when you started off your career in digital marketing, and today I'm sure there's a huge learning, and you've changed, you've evolved as a digital marketer as well as a person. What advice would you give yourself when you were starting off, and what advice would you give yourself if there was one?
Yeah, honestly, I believe that it's not just when I started my career, it should be to every young people or every, even my younger self. I would advise that don't just waste your time in universities, because now people are looking for skills.
Yep.
People are not looking for degrees.
Yeah.
I have done MBA, that's 18 years of education. But still, I went through a 3 month internship, I learned how to run campaigns on Facebook. I learned what is digital marketing and then started my career. So those 3 months and those 18 years of education, I'm not saying that they are waste or something like that, but I'm saying that people are looking for skills. So start learning skills while you are studying, while you are in university. There are many people in RepStack. There are many people nowadays are earning huge working with people, clients in US, from content writing, from performance marketing, from digital marketing, and a lot of those things. So start learning what advice I would like to give, and work hard, because working hard will always will push you to somewhere. Because I didn't do that. I didn't started working while I was studying. I was just focusing on studying and other activities. But when I started working, I made sure that I will work hard and I will keep on learning. And that's what I'm doing from last 5 years.
I think that's a great point that you touched there, that experience, as we say in Urdu, that experience ka koi mol nahi hai.
Exactly.
So nothing is replaceable with experience.
Experience.
So as soon as you start with that, I'm not saying that you don't do your degree. Of course you have to do.
You have to do
But
that.
you have to start learning
the skills.
and you have to start your direction. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, now it's changing. But back in the days, you would be like, oh no, you've done bachelor's, now do your master's. And then you start.
Okay.
So what's different in the Western culture is that at 14 years of age, that guy, their kid is working in McDonald's or wherever he or she is working. And now you're like almost 9 years behind because you opted to do masters as well. And then, so that is something that it's very different in both the countries. But I'm glad that people like you are now pushing to the younger generation that, and in today's day and age, I think you cannot say that, all right, I don't have a job. You can definitely work on something.
Exactly.
If you know how to type, you can definitely work. You can get some kind of job, but then that comes with your personality as well. If you're a complainer, you'll always be a complainer.
Exactly.
So,
there are thousands of ways you can make money.
Yeah.
Like I've told you that I know a lot of people, they are doing content writing and working with US clients and making tons of dollars. And we don't even imagine that we were doing that in the age of 22 or 23.
Exactly.
Like I think that industry is changing, everything is changing, and people should change with time.
And imagine in RepStack, we have 62% females. A lot of them would have not opted for a job because of two things. One, that it's an evening job. They spend the day for their family, with their family. Secondly, going out at night is not an option. So these are the two things that got people to work, and then the talent that was being wasted is now being utilized.
Exactly. That's what I was saying, that many people in RepStack are also have done bachelors. They are doing their masters, but also working. In nights they are working, and in days they are going to the university and completing their education. That's a great platform RepStack has provided to the student like those which want to work, which want to polish their talent, which want to make money. So I think that's how an impact RepStack and new directions are making in this world.
And I think if somebody wants to be ahead of time, that's the only way. You have to be. I think masters is great, but experience is
nothing.
Experience is,
you can't compete with experience, with degrees.
So I see that you're fond of traveling as well. What were your latest trips? Any trip that you would like to tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, recently, locally, if you talk about, I went to Changagali with my family, and it was a great experience. It was the first time I went there. I didn't know that there is this gully which is known as this. So it was a great experience, explored, peaceful, and have a good time with my family. And then before that, like I went internationally to Singapore and Malaysia.
Oh, nice.
That was also my first time.
I've heard great things about Singapore. I haven't been there, but
I was there for 4 days, and it was exceptional.
Really?
I went at how they have changed their whole world within few decades. And it was great experience, especially in Malaysia and Singapore. And I believe that those both countries are connected together. And I had a great experience, great fun over there.
I think both of them have changed enormously in the past 30, 40
Basically, Singapore
years.
Was part of Malaysia.
Yeah.
So they separated Singapore because they were not doing good economically. But when they got separated and they got a new leader, everything was changed. Now Singapore is a way ahead of Malaysia. So
Singapore
that's a great example of how hard work can change your life.
And one person can change a country as well. Of course, it's a small country, but still, it's that
one of the strongest passport they have.
And I think it used to be a center of drugs and then they converted it into. I saw a documentary on it, and
exactly.
it was
I heard
very
this.
inspirational
Right.
how they changed it. Maybe somebody from our country does that too.
So,
Let's
we
see.
hope so.
But yeah, so awesome. Great talking to you. It was indeed a pleasure. And every time I talk to people like you, I really get bumps that what kind of talent we're producing in Pakistan. And I'm very glad that we're able to showcase this talent to different markets in the world as well right now. And to keep up the great work.
Yeah.
Any last things you want to say?
I would say that I'm thankful that I'm part of RevStack because they have provided me a platform to go internationally, meet with clients, work internationally, and have the experience which I think I was lacking in my career, in my 5 years of career. But due to RevStack, I got that platform. I'm very thankful to this company, this team, and I believe that in coming years, I'm going to learn more and going to be better digital marketer I'm right now. So thank you, Repsec. Thank you, Yavar, to you, to Azhar,
No,
to
no,
Arthur, to give us this platform. So
we're,
this is
we're,
what
we're
I
we're
believe.
proud of you and
Yeah.
people like you. This is what everyone gets at my podcast. So this is
Thank
for
you so
you.
much. This is my color is very nice.
Yeah. And so it'll keep your gym water cold.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
And once again, thank you so much, Sama, for being here.
Welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.